Okay.
We're live.
Okay. Here we are.
This show looks beautiful. Sorry,
Yeah?
let me just say, the sky, the pink is awesome.
Wow.
Well, as
Okay.
you deserve. Hey guys, it's Big Al today, and have we got a surprise for you? We're going to the beach.
Yeah, you can
It's
put
a
a
beach
watermelon in here.
Yeah, all kinds of things. You can put a couple watermelons in there.
So why don't you guys reach into your beach bags and show us what we've got in store for us today.
Okay.
Look
You
at
want to
these
look in yours
beach
first,
bags.
or me in mine?
Why don't you look in yours first?
Okay. Well, let's see. Oh,
I have a mango here. And
me
Good
too.
job, mango.
Me too. Wait, let's put it on the table. Oh, look what I have.
Wow.
A coconut.
I have another
This is
mango.
so tropical. I don't know if this is going to stay on the table. Okay, another mango. I have another mango.
I have a lemon.
Okay. I have a persimmon. This is the greatest
another
picnic.
lemon.
What? This is the greatest picnic ever. Okay, wait. Oh, okay. This is perfect for the beach. Perfect for the beach. I've got sunscreen.
Okay.
I've got sunscreen. I've got the tinted mineral sunscreen. Toxic free, you guys. Okay,
I
let's
have
see.
passion fruit. Passion fruit.
I've got a lemon. Okay, let's see. Now I've got the outdoor body spray. I wonder what this is
that
for.
might be our free gift today.
Is it in? Is this in?
I have bronze shimmer.
Oh, I love that stuff.
Bronze shimmer.
I've got another mango. Shocking. Shocking for a day at the beach.
Okay.
And you have Shield and Shine?
Have what?
Shield and Shine.
No, this is grow back.
Yeah. Shield, it's the conditioner part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. And I've got some Ageless Mist body serum. Wow, this is the perfect stuff to bring to the beach. All right. And also, so are these bags, if I do say so myself.
Good job taking things out of
These
the
are-
bags, guys.
Yeah,
These are great bags.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
great bags. They're pretty cute, huh?
yeah, they're collapsible cooler bags, perfect for the beach or for any of your picnic activities during the summer.
So guys, the free gift today is the outdoor body spray. Okay, is it gonna focus? There she goes. I am a really big fan of the outdoor body spray because I happen to be delicious to mosquitoes.
Yep, and you can get this for free with any purchase of
$29.99.
at SuzanneSummers.com. You get this for free. Shall we talk about this first?
Yeah.
Because this stuff, I keep this in my kitchen, which is right off the patio, you know, at my house. So I keep this in the kitchen cupboard right off the patio so that when guests come over, and there's always, you know, there's like little kind of bitey bugs in my backyard. Not necessarily mosquitoes, just like little
There are mosquitoes in the back.
yeah, there are mosquitoes. This helps keeps the bugs away.
This
Bugs
is using
do
a
not
lot
like
of natural oils that bugs do not like the smell of. And like I said, I'm a person
smell
who's
it?
extremely delicious to mosquitoes, and I love to have an all-natural formula
Smells
that
good.
does not have DEET in it, has no chemicals, because you're spraying it all
Yeah.
over your body multiple times in an evening.
it's very herbal smelling.
Now, why are we showing these bags?
Because we
Well,
went to the beach.
we went to the beach, and this is what's in our beach bag. I just happen to have them here because this is part of a collaboration between you and I with your doodles and my artistic talents and
my scanning skills.
Daisy's scanning skills.
Okay.
If you guys are new, my dad his whole life has drawn on Post-it notes. He's made all these little doodles, tons of them. I have like a huge box filled with Post-it notes.
Thousands.
Yeah, that have doodles. And it took Daisy thousands of hours to scan them, and then I took them apart, recolored them, and made them into prints and remixed them. So this is like actually, if my dad and me were to create a digital child in the form of a product.
They're wondering if they will ever be for sale.
Pardon?
They're wondering if they'll ever be for sale, these bags.
Why not?
Maybe one day, guys.
Shall we?
Keep on watching.
Okay. Let's see.
They will be for sale.
Yeah.
Oh,
These are
Nancy
cool.
says, Daisy, you can spray that on killer. I use it when I take
Yeah.
my girls out. That's awesome. It's safe to use on babies and on animals, this outdoor spray. Just wanted to throw that in there.
Okay.
Yeah. And you
Because
know what?
people are also loving your hat. They're wondering if that is Suzanne's hat.
This is Suzanne's hat.
It looks
Of course
good
it's
on you.
Suzanne's hat.
Thank you.
So I just want to talk about this really quickly. The
Okay.
outdoor body spray, it smells fantastic. It's almost got like an herbal scent. What are the ingredients, Days?
It has Amazonian and Doroba seed oil, peppermint, lavender, and rosemary.
But no DEET.
No DEET.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's actually really good about this outdoor spray is it doesn't only keep the mosquitoes away, it also helps, if you have a bite, it helps soothe the bites.
And you get it for free today with any purchase of $29.99.
Smells great.
It smells
really
great, and it
does.
soothes
Yeah.
the itch from bug bites.
It could almost be a men's aftershave.
Well, I have a special friend who lives in the San Fernando Valley, and she has a major garden with water running, I guess,
Ooh.
and she has major mosquitoes.
Yeah, you had them inside when you had your water running
Where?
in the fountain over there.
Everyone
I know.
No, those weren't mosquitoes.
Yes, they were.
No, they weren't mosquitoes. They were bugs, but they weren't mosquitoes.
Well, there were some little bitey bugs in here.
Yeah.
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 There's bitey bugs that are not mosquitoes, but they love water the same way. Even, we have like those white flies around in the very back hedges. Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, so if you spend $29.99 plus, you get this
Yep.
free gift, which is worth $29.99. And you're going to want it. What is this? We're now in May. We're about to
Oh
go
yeah,
into June.
this is the kind of thing that you will keep by your porch, by the swimming pool. If you have a little cabana, if you have
Spray it around
the place
doorways.
where you can also you can spray it in your environment as well. You can spray it on your pets, on your kids. Listen, DEET that is used in commercial bug repellents that you put on your skin. If you don't have to, I would choose this. Now, if you're going somewhere where you could really get something bad from a mosquito,
A safari.
for example,
Yeah, you're going to want to double down.
Yeah.
You're going to want to use those
yeah, then you
chemicals,
just have to suck it up. But this is like a toxic-free way of keeping the bugs
which
from
is really important
wanting
for the summer.
yeah.
So if you
Especially-
spray it before you go outside, and you know you're going to be attacked by bugs, okay? And you know that this rejects bugs because they can't stand the smell. Obviously, their smeller isn't as sophisticated as ours,
Exactly.
or maybe they're more sophisticated.
Yeah, maybe they're smelling. I think
Peppermint,
they're
lavender, rosemary.
Yeah.
These are all things that smell really good. Mm-hmm. And I love that it has the dual action of soothing the bug bites as well.
yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
I bought a bag of those colored peppers, those little baby
sweet
peppers.
Yeah.
Because they were all different colors, and I just, that's my version of flowers in the house.
That's true.
Is fruit. Like over there, and I'm seeing it, over there is, I buy 36 mangoes at a time. I know it's excessive, but I'm excessive. I can't help it. That's who I am.
But you're also generous with them. You gave you gave me a
I love
whole
giving-
bag
yeah.
and Violet a whole bag.
Yeah, I love giving them away. And I've got avocados, and I've got
Tomatoes,
little baby
kiwis.
oranges, and I have passion fruit, and I have my Barbados cherry trees. I have 6 of them. Okay, and this year they started producing cherries. Each cherry, this is going to blow you away. Each cherry has more vitamin C than an entire orange.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why you're
Okay.
so
You
full of
fed them to me
energy
last
today.
time.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Your skin looks really, really nice today.
Wow.
Have you looked
It
at his
looked
skin
looked
up
good last
close?
time too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you been using your exfoliating foaming cleanser or what?
He's been using
Yeah.
his liquid oxygen.
I've
Yeah.
been using all the products.
It looks like your skin is actually glowing.
Wow.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's true.
Handsome Al.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hashtag no filter.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hashtag no filter. So, should we talk about the rest of the products we have today?
Yeah, go to town.
These are just a few of the products that are available at SuzanneSummers.com. These particular products are chosen because they're perfect for your beach bag. or for your pre-beach or your après-beach. So I think, first of all, we should talk about the sunscreen. The sunscreen is great because it's made with zinc oxide. That's the base, and it's got some tint in it.
Some what?
Tint.
Nobody
Oh, that's
likes to
good.
go to the beach and have a big white face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's also yucky to wear makeup at the beach or out in the sun. So this is a way to have a little bit of a sheer tint, and it's very sheer. It's really like,
chemical-free.
it's not very opaque, let's say. It's a very sheer tint, but it helps the zinc oxide kind of like tone down because, zinc oxide is so white.
Yeah.
So there are two colors, sand and bronze.
So is zinc oxide what they used to put on our faces when we were kids?
Yeah,
like
the white stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
And I'm reading here that also it's safe for humans and it's also reef safe for the environment. I've never thought about the fact that the sunscreen that I'm using could be affecting the water and the fish.
Me neither, but actually, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing actually.
Yeah, and when you're during the summertime, at least I do, I put on sunscreen much more than I do, and you don't wear sunscreen. But for those of us who do, which is, I would say, most of us, it's better to use a toxic-free
Everyone's saying how
sunscreen.
much they like it.
Yeah, it's so nice, and I'll show you, I like the bronze one. It barely gives you any color.
I also just want to say that there's some additional botanical actives in there, like acetyl tetrapeptide, which helps maintain collagen and elastin fibers, sea algae and mugwort herb, which is rich in amino acids, which soothe skin after sun exposure, allantoin, kind of like you,
Allantoin.
which is an anti-irritant for skin protection, and saccharide isomerate, which is a moisture magnet. So not only is this good for protecting against the UV rays, but oh my god, it looks beautiful.
without.
wow.
It
Wow.
kind of gives a beautiful glow too.
Yeah, the reason I use sunscreen is because I've been laying in the sun since I was this big, okay? I mean, really, since I was a little kid, I've always laid in the sun. And when I was a little kid, all they had was zinc oxide, and I didn't want to run around with white stuff on my... So is this white? Is this white?
No, it's just like this.
That's why it's,
great.
But
that's
it's
why it
made
has
with the
tint
zinc
in it.
oxide,
Yeah.
which is
Great.
toxic free.
Great.
You know who had to use a lot of sunscreen?
Who?
Zanny.
Yeah, but I think she just had so much tanning stuff on that it didn't get through to her skin.
Only I,
I don't
know,
know.
the truth.
What's the truth?
Only I know the
That she was
truth.
a
How,
lobster.
how fair her skin really was.
Okay? She did. She's Irish. 100% Irish. She used to talk about the fact that she should be on a big precipice overlooking the Irish Sea with a herd of sheep.
Do you want to show this? Because this is such a
No, I
Zanny
want to know what is
problem.
the, the secret truth.
The what?
The secret truth. What is the secret truth about?
Well, she
For skin
was very fair. And she loved laying in the sun. And I remember the first time when we were still dating, we hadn't married yet, but we were living together. Living together? Oh my goodness.
In
Anyway,
sin.
yeah, we were living together. And my mother approved, by the way. Okay.
Thank you, Google.
My mother was like, I love this woman you're going to marry.
Yeah, she's hard not to love.
Yeah. So anyway, they had this great deal on United Airlines where you could fly Los Angeles to Hawaii, return for like $114. But you had to sit at the back of the plane, and you couldn't get any food, you couldn't buy anything from duty free, you couldn't, nothing, no water, nothing, okay?
You couldn't even go to the bathroom.
So what I did was I bought 2 of those tickets, and then I went to Chinatown in LA, and I think I spent, I don't know, $60, and I bought us a Chinese feast. And we were the only 2 people in the back of the plane. It was like we were flying charter. We sat in the back of the plane. We had all the little tables down from the 5 seats across. We had all the food laid out, and we had champagne, and we ate and drank our way to Hawaii. Okay? Now, once we got to Hawaii, the following morning, I bought a giant bottle of champagne. What is it called? It's a giant bottle?
Magnum.
A magnum of champagne. I had the guy in the store put it inside a bag filled with ice and tie it at the top. And then when I got down to the beach, I dug a big hole in the sand and put it in the sand, and we were drinking champagne, and we both fell asleep, and the sun was like brutal, especially for Suzanne. And some woman came along and saw the two of us sleeping, and we were red. I wasn't. I mean, I was a little red, but she was like, red! And the woman woke us up and said, "Oh dear, you two should go inside. This is not good." And she was right. So we spent the next, I think, 2 or 3 days in bed putting on, what's that stuff?
Aloe vera.
Aloe vera.
Yeah.
What was that movie about there was like some couple that were recently married and they go on a beach vacation and they both get really sunburnt, or one of them does. The wife was not What's Up Doc, but around that time period, like early 70s, Dustin Hoffman and someone.
Oh.
And somebody gets really sunburnt. I know somebody in the comments is going to know this.
I love that story, Zeta.
Yeah.
I think about that story a lot.
Okay, well, it's yours.
Thank you. I'm going to actually recreate that.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a time when the tickets to Hawaii are cheap.
Yeah.
I've never been to Hawaii. I always wanted to go. But
So-
the idea of putting the alcohol in the ice bag and then digging a hole, that's some genius.
Yeah.
That's some genius Zeta stuff.
So, if you're just joining
10?
us,
The movie 10 with Bo Derek.
No, but
No.
I think somebody got sunburnt in that movie too. Maybe
that was,
Dudley
what an
Moore.
amazing, remember 10? That was a great movie.
Wait, that's the movie
Yeah.
everyone, or Heartbreak Kid?
Yeah,
And
maybe,
also,
Heartbreak
sorry,
Kid.
Just a quick reminder that at the end of the show, we are also going to do rapid fire questions with Zeta, because a lot of people are wanting to do that again.
Okay.
Oh, actually,
Rapid fire
we were going to
questions.
invite whoever is with us today, if they want to ask any question at all. It doesn't matter if it's personal or professional. It doesn't matter what it is. I will answer any question you ask.
But that will be at the end of the
That's
show.
amazing.
So keep watching.
Yeah.
Well, it could be before that.
Yeah, you can do it during also. If you get a good question
I know,
during.
but I hate being like, wait, because I'm not good at remembering things, you know?
Okay.
Anyways,
Shall we quickly show everything we have?
sure, go to town, my
Okay.
friends.
All right. This is perfect if you are a person who does not like sun exposure but wants to look gorgeous and bronzé at the same time.
Here, I'll do
Daisy,
it.
okay. Do you want me to get out?
No, it's
Okay.
okay. I'm just going to show my arms, okay?
What did you say you're not good at?
Remembering anything.
Remembering somebody asking
These
a
are my
question.
arms, okay?
Hold your questions.
These are my arms.
They are?
Yes, these right here. These
This
are
is
my
so
arms.
cool. This is a very, very, very Suzanne Summers product, if there ever was one.
Yeah, if you guys are ever wondering why her skin looked perfect and shiny and tan all the time,
Yeah,
this is
and
why.
glowing. This is why.
Look at
Little
this.
Yep.
Look at this
Golden
immediate
bronze
golden
shimmer.
tan that I'm getting.
Yep.
I didn't need
Wow.
to do anything.
Yep.
Look at that.
Wow.
One is golden and beautiful. The other one gray, dry, and sad.
And hair.
I love this stuff. If you guys are going to the beach, put this on.
Yep. Or if you're going out at night, put it on your collarbone, put it on your shoulders, put it on your décolletage, put it on the front of your legs, down the front of your legs, just to get that extra thing.
So my granddaughter
word.
Daisy
That's me.
asked me to do one of my doodles, and it would become, she would then use it as a
Tattoo.
tattoo. And
A
I
big
said
one
to her,
right here.
okay, as long as it's your final tattoo. And she said, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, no, she can have it be her final one when her whole body is done
I know, I might be
being
getting
covered.
tattoos till I'm 100 years old.
Okay. So,
Can we make
tattoos.
a compromise somehow?
What if Daisy gives you a tattoo? You know she gave me one.
Here's the problem.
What?
Here's the problem. I believe that, and this is generational, okay? This is old fart time, okay? I realize that. I acknowledge that. But here's the truth. Here's my truth. I believe that our bodies are our temples. And we can't possibly improve on the temple that we've been given by nature or God, whatever you believe, okay? So augmenting what we've been given as our temple with tattoos is an augmentation that, for me, like I would not want to have a tattoo. I wouldn't know what to put. And the thing is,
What if it was hidden?
well, I know people that have hidden tattoos.
I have one.
I have a retort ready in the barrel.
Well, I remember we had
Retort in the barrel.
we had this little friend, and she was a daughter of two very conservative parents, unbelievably conservative parents. This is like years ago, and she had a tattoo done right next to her woo-woo.
Oh, Amanda.
Oh, why don't you tell her last name too?
Hi, Amanda, if you're watching. Hi, Chris. Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
Are you ready for my retort?
Yes, she said she has a retort about tattoos in the barrel.
Okay.
Okay. Number one, if you don't think that humans should augment their bodies.
No, I don't think I should.
Oh, you personally.
Me, I'm talking about
Yeah.
my temple.
Okay, then go to town. Yeah, you
Yeah.
should get
Yeah,
tattoos.
no,
You
no.
know what?
Even
I
though-
feel the same way. I felt like I already look the way I'm supposed to look. I look good. I don't want to have to dress around a marking on my body because I put on temporary tattoos before on my arm. Like there was a moment in the 80s when I almost got like a skull with
Yeah,
fire
and that
coming out
would
of it
be
and a
sick.
dagger in it and on my arm. Okay, first of all, my arm should not have a tattoo on it at this point in my
Yes,
life.
it should. Do you know how cool it would
No,
be?
it would be
if
like
you had
a skull going like this.
So what?
Besides that, when I would get undressed, I had this tattoo on for, I don't know, a week and a half. It was jarring. Every time I took my top off and I saw this thing on my arm, it was temporary, it was jarring. So, but I do have one tattoo given to me by the one and only, your granddaughter, Daisy Hamill-Buffa.
Where is it?
You can't even see it.
It's
She's
right
screaming
here.
The whole time.
She gave it to me. It's a daisy.
That's
It fell out a little
Guys,
bit.
I love
During-
tattoos. I love my tattoos.
Oh, she
I
did
love-
this to you?
Yeah, during COVID.
So it's like a prison tattoo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
I
a
did
little
those
daisy. It's
tattoos.
it was really cute. I need to go do it again.
It's so small you can't see
Yeah.
it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you where it is. I can't show you that foot, but I'll just tell you where it is. It's right here, underneath the strap, but on my other leg. And during COVID, Daisy gave me a prison tattoo. We drank a little bit
Yeah.
that night.
You did, for sure.
Okay, I drank.
I wasn't wielding needles.
Yeah, but it's really cute. It's a little tiny. It's probably a 1/4 inch, little tiny daisy.
I've given a couple of people those.
Yeah.
Anyways, for me, having tattoos is a way to claim my body. You know what I mean? It's my way of saying, I don't feel secure about this
Well,
thing.
okay,
It's
let
my
me-
way of
okay.
claiming it for myself.
Okay, let me ask you one question.
Okay.
Do you have even one tattoo that you wish you hadn't done?
Of course. Everyone who has tattoos.
Which one?
I don't like my first tattoo.
I offered to get it removed.
Yeah, but everyone who has tattoos has a tattoo they wish they didn't have. It's not like, it doesn't keep me up at night. I never think about it.
Yeah.
So getting removed,
I want to get it removed.
is that like a messy business?
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
it's a painful
I
business.
remember when cousin David,
Yeah.
had his tattoo removed, and it was like, wow. He had a big tattoo right here.
Yeah.
And it was like really.
Pete Davidson had all his tattoos removed.
Who did?
Pete Davidson.
I don't know who that is.
He's a comedian and actor.
Everyone is loving your hat, Zeta.
Yeah, he looks so good in a
You
hat,
might need to
right?
be wearing more of Xana's hats.
Yeah.
Wow.
I told
Yeah,
you.
it does, aren't
Okay.
don't these exist in every single color?
Yeah, we have actually.
Yeah,
we did.
the yellow one.
The yellow one is a nicer one than this
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Okay, hat guy from now on.
Okay.
So, you know what I always wonder about you? I mean, there's a lot of things I wonder about my dad.
Uh-oh.
But a thing that I really wonder about you is,
Yeah.
and I was thinking about this last night, is that when you started your career, you were a broadcaster, and then you were a performer, and you were a comedian, and you were on, Nightcap and Man Trap and the Sensuous Man and the Alan Hamill Show and all those things where you're like kind of performing, and then you stopped doing that. Do you ever wish you would do that again?
I'm doing it.
Yeah, but you're being you.
Yeah, but he was kind of being him also on the
Yeah,
shows.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's
no,
true.
I'm not performing. I mean,
You're not playing another person.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it was time. Like it was time to move on. There's
Yeah.
certain things you do. Like I had a daily talk show in Canada that ran for a bunch of years. And then in 1980, or 81, whatever it was, when Zanny was fired, she didn't have anyone to look after her and be her agent or her manager, or she had nobody. So I quit my show. And the network in Canada was very upset about that because the show was very popular, and became Zanny's partner for life and for business. And it worked out.
Yeah. Well, you guys were already partners in life.
Well, we were partners in life, yeah.
Yeah.
But I wasn't terribly, well, she was only doing Three's Company. I wasn't terribly involved with that.
With her career, but
I
you were
helped her
with her personally.
With career decisions, but I really wasn't like doing it on a daily basis.
Yeah. How'd you get so good at business?
Wait, I have something to say quickly, because kind of piggybacking off of that, which is that I was with my aunt and uncle-in-law. Is that what they would be? Yeah,
Who?
the other day, I was with Jeremy and Dara.
Yeah.
And on our wall, we have like some Playboys, and of course we have Zanny's Playboys up there. And Jeremy was saying how he was like, oh, I remember, like, I know your grandmother, I remember her. And I was like, oh yeah, Three's Company. And he was like, no, I remember her being like an advocate for women. And I love that he said that, because mostly, people are say like, oh, I remember her from Three's Company, I remember her being this health person, but I love that to him, he was like, I remember her being a woman's advocate.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And Jeremy is 70 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was really cool. And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I love when I'm reminded little things about her always.
Well,
Yeah.
she had 5 careers. Anyone in our business would have been happy with even one.
That's true.
She had 5.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, most people don't know about the fact that she wrote 27 books on health and relationships and alcoholism and blah, blah, et cetera, et cetera. Most were New York Times bestsellers. Amazing, right?
Really amazing.
She didn't consider it amazing, but she had what you call bestseller-itis. If she wrote a book and it wasn't a New York Times, it was always a bestseller. But if it wasn't a New York Times bestsellers, she would like, oh, what? How come? Should it? What? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd say, Suzanne, you have all these books. They've all been bestsellers. Every so often, you don't hit one out of the park. Big deal. It's a great book. Actually, the best book that she wrote about bioidentical hormones was not a New York Times bestsellers.
Which one? I'm too young for this?
Correct. Yeah, it's a great book.
Yeah.
My favorite book is Toxic.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I mean, everyone's got their favorite books that that she has written, and her lecture series. Thousands of people would show up, and we did it in North America, Canada, the United States, Western Europe, Asia, etc. And it was great.
Yeah.
And she was booked to do a lecture date in China. And at the last minute, they pulled the date on us. And I thought, why? And the woman who had booked the date said, because they don't have bioidentical hormones in China.
They don't?
No,
Weird.
no.
You would think they would.
Well,
Someone is wondering, what is the book about alcoholism?
Keeping Secrets.
That was one of her, it was her second book.
And we produced a movie called Keeping Secrets. And the tough part about that movie was the day they were casting Alan Hamill, I said to Suzanne, I'm not going to turn up for that. I don't want to influence anybody about who I want, because Tom Cruise is probably not available. And so I stayed at home. I didn't turn up. And I should have turned up, because I didn't like the guy they cast to play me.
What was it?
Yeah, what'd you guys call
Well, I
him?
don't want to mention his name.
Oh, okay.
It's not cool.
Okay, I won't,
It's not cool to mention his name.
I'm not going to say
So any
what you
questions?
did.
Okay, guys, it's time for questions. Hit them to me. I didn't read any of the ones previous, so you have to send them again. Everyone is loving the stories. Someone is wondering, what age did she start bioidentical hormones?
Okay, good question. Suzanne started it, I think, when she was in her 40s. And she said to me many times, I wish I had started in my 30s. Because in our 30s, men with testosterone, same thing. Women with their estrogen, same thing. Estrogen and progesterone. It starts to decline once you're in your 30s, okay? So if you catch it, okay, you can bring it back up to normal levels. And when doctors who don't really understand bioidentical hormones, all they do, they send it to the lab and it comes back and the reading says blah, 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 blah. And the doctor says, oh, well, you're fine, your levels are fine. The question you have to ask is, are my levels fine for someone my age, or are they fine for someone much younger than me, which is what you want? Like, I'm 105 years old.
At least.
I don't want testosterone for old guy here. I want testosterone for young guy, which is what I get. So when allopathic doctors that I see every so often for insurance policies or whatever say, well, your testosterone levels are kind of high. I say, no, they're not high at all. They're high for a guy my age. But I don't want testosterone for a guy my age. I want testosterone for a guy who's 30 or 40 years younger than me. Okay?
Right, but you can't start, can you
We
start?
have a lot of questions coming in. I just
Okay.
need you to
Okay,
go.
hit it.
Okay, go.
Detty is asking, do you regret anything in your life?
Do what?
Regret.
Yes. I regret something in my life, but I also am grateful for something in my life. Okay, I met this woman in the 50s, and I only knew her for 14 days, and we got married.
You did?
That was your mother.
You look so confused.
I am so confused. Well, it was a really beautiful wedding. Why, don't regret that. How do you think you got me?
How could
That's
you?
why you said
How could
you
you?
were grateful.
How could you
Wait,
know
are
it
you
was a
grateful?
beautiful wedding?
Because
You
I
weren't
saw
there?
the photos.
Oh, the photos. Okay.
I saw the photos. It was a
Okay.
really kind of
But
fancy.
you know what? We should have been great friends. When you're 20 years old, and you're stupid, at least guys are stupid when we're 20 years old. We are. We're stupid. And, when it came up and we were so all of a sudden we're getting married, and it was like, whoa. And
Here's
thought,
what I have to say about Aldous.
Okay.
Because I feel like you're about to make me mad.
Why? You're here.
Just because you're talking about my mom. And,
No, but I'm not saying
Okay,
I'm not
hold on.
saying
Here's
anything.
what
No,
I
I'm
know.
not saying anything bad about your mother. I'm
I
saying
know. You
He
regret
said
that you're
he wasn't
grateful.
ready to get married.
Right.
Yeah,
No one's ever
exactly.
ready, honestly.
Yeah.
But, okay.
No, but when you're 20 years old, you figure, I'll make whatever happens. I'll handle everything. Will be fine.
Right. But can I say one thing?
Certainly.
The thing that you like about women is when they're smart,
Yeah.
savvy, charismatic, beautiful,
Yeah.
and fun.
Whoa, yeah.
That's
Okay,
great type,
so
please.
Call me
that was
crazy.
my mom. That was
Yeah.
Suzanne.
That's true.
That's pretty much every lady you like is that person.
I have another question
So
coming in.
that's cool.
Al, do you miss Big Al's bar? And what is your favorite Big Al's bar story? That's from Terry Quinn 165.
Wow. Well, Al's Bar is right behind me.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're talking about Big Al's Bar in our former home,
Yes.
I really loved that. That was outside, and it was great, really great.
Yeah.
And we were there every night. And sometimes, if we were there at 9 o'clock at night, a whole family of raccoons, the mommy and the daddy and 3 baby raccoons, would turn up and they'd walk right by us. We'd make eye contact, and they'd keep going. And I wanted to say, where are you guys going every night? Every night you go by here, and we look at each other, and you keep going. Where are you going? I never knew where they were going.
Yeah, but remember one night I called you and it was like 3 a.m. after a party we had at the house. I called you at 3 a.m. on the phone, on the landline. That's how long ago it was.
Remember landline?
And I was
I'm
sleeping.
getting a landline here.
I
Good.
want a landline.
You should have one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was sleeping in the stone house at the old house. If you guys don't know what room that is, you
By
can
the way,
look it up online.
when the kids slept in the stone house, they didn't call it the stone house. They called it the stoned house.
You did.
No, I didn't.
What?
No, I didn't. It was you and Bruce and Steven. Huh?
I
Oh,
have some more questions.
yeah.
This one's a little bit personal and it's for you. But I think it's good for you to answer it. Rebecca, this is personal to her as well. She says, I wanted to know if it was hard for Leslie to accept her new stepmother, even though she was a fabulous stepmother. I had a stepmother as a kid and it was hard for me, so I was curious.
I would say, I don't know if the word accept applies, but I think that in general, it was hard to have my parents separate and go through a divorce and have my dad have a new girlfriend that he moves in with and be 13.
Yeah, that would be hard for anyone.
Okay,
You know?
fair enough.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
anyone wonders why I was a bad girl, that's why. I just didn't know how to express myself. I wish I could have said like, you know, this is really screwing me up. Like this is all hard for me. But anyway, let's go back to Al.
Okay.
And thanks for that question.
Hold on, I'm just scrolling.
And also, Suzanne was my best friend.
Zeta, did you ever meet Elvis Presley?
I didn't meet, I've never met Elvis, but I knew some of his girlfriends.
Linda.
Well, one day Suzanne went out for lunch. We were living in Malibu, and she said, I had lunch with every one of Elvis's girlfriends today.
Well, he liked beautiful women.
Right.
He loved beautiful women.
No.
Like
Okay.
Priscilla Presley as a bride.
Yeah,
This is a really good one.
You know, Elvis, I became very good friends with Colonel Parker, who was Elvis's manager. I do not believe that there would have been Elvis the king, he really was the king, without Colonel Parker. Colonel Parker had a natural talent that he really understood. He really got it. And he and Elvis were like great partners. And I would spend, when we did a show at the Las Vegas Hilton for 2.5 years, every night, 7 nights a week, 2 shows a night. And I would be in Elvis's dressing room. And the president of the hotel, when he was showing us around, said, okay, this was Elvis's. We're going to rip everything out, the carpeting and the furniture and everything, and redo it. And we said, no, we want to be in Elvis's dressing room.
Yeah. And the Elvis suite, the old
Right,
Elvis
exactly.
suite at the Hilton.
Right. So
Talk about
Colonel
Elvis.
Parker came by the
Blackout.
first night, and he came by almost every single night. And the two of us would sit and talk. I could write the Elvis Colonel Parker book. I'm not going to, but I could. He told me all the secrets. I mean, it was amazing. He saw something in me that was, I think, him. And I saw something in him that I thought was me.
Well, they're kind of like the you and Suzanne of the Elvis and Colonel Parker.
Right, exactly.
Sorry, continue.
And I found him fascinating. You know, when the Elvis movie played, I watched half of it and then I couldn't watch it anymore because Colonel Parker was not represented
He was a
properly
villain.
in the movie. I don't know. I didn't watch the rest of it, which I thought was too bad because Colonel Parker was this unique character. And the reason Elvis Presley never did a date, outside of the United States, nobody ever asked this question, is because Colonel Parker was not an American citizen. And he was afraid that if he did a gig in Japan wanted Elvis, they wanted to pay him millions of dollars, and they never did the date because he was afraid he'd never be able to get back into America again.
Where was he from?
Colonel Parker, that's not his name. He had a Dutch name. He was, when he was 15 or 16,
We have more questions.
he stowed a boat from Holland and arrived in New York and got a job with a carnival, and he was in charge of the dancing chickens. It was a little tent, and when 10 people would come in and pay 10 cents each, they'd turn the lights down and hit the button, and music would play, and a light would hit the cage with the chickens, and the chickens would start dancing, and everyone was amazed that they had dancing chickens. The problem was in PETA, there was no PETA then. If there was, they would have eliminated it. The reason the chickens were dancing was because they had a hot plate under the floor of the cage.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know it's terrible.
Let's go to a new question. This
Okay.
is terrible.
A lot
Yeah.
of Elvis talk.
Okay, next.
Someone says, Al, what was your favorite song that Suzanne sang?
My favorite song was the one she closed the show with.
Bye bye, baby.
No,
Oh, the Leon Russell song.
Leon Russell.
Leon Russell, Your Song.
Yeah, it
What's
was
it called? Your
Yeah.
Song? Yeah, Your Song.
great.
That was your special song.
What
Yeah.
a poem. And she called Leon and she said, I'd like you to come some night and experience the audience, and I'll sing that song. And Leon Russell said, I can't do it.
He was really not well by that time.
Yeah, I can't do it. He said, I can't face all those people. But that was my favorite song. And it took, Suzanne rehearsed that song for 2 weeks before she could do it without crying.
Also, does anyone here know, this is Suzanne Summers trivia. Do you know that in Suzanne's original Vegas show at, where was it? The MGM?
MGM Grand.
At the
yeah.
MGM Grand, she had a song that was about she and my dad. Da 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 da, supermarket spokesman, da 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 da, with discounts on groceries. Well, I've made up my mind, time or time, da 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 da. I fell over the edge of love. You know that song,
Well,
maybe?
that was a dance number.
No, but she sang it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it was a dance number.
but it was like there were lyrics about she and my dad.
Yeah,
If you can find that, it's from probably 1980s.
I forgot about that.
Sorry about that singing.
And I think she was wearing like a costume designed for her that was weighed 100 pounds. It was all
Not me.
diamonds.
Not me.
Here's a tiger one. Someone is wondering, did Zanny have a celebrity crush?
Say that again?
Did Zanny have a celebrity crush?
A celebrity crush?
Yeah. Like Peter Cetera, maybe. She thought he was real cute.
Was she like, she liked listening to him? I don't think there was like a, hey.
No, she wasn't like that. Neither of you were like that.
Let me
But
think.
like someone she thought was a cutie.
Yeah, I don't remember. No, I don't remember she had a crush on me, except me.
Exactly.
Huge crush.
And she told me the first day we got married, if you ever cheat on me, I will shoot your and I know where you keep your guns.
That is so funny.
You know what? I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
People are wondering, what is your toenail polish?
Cornflower.
Pool.
No,
This,
cornflower.
oh, this is cornflower?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm changing to pool.
Really? I like that.
Well, I like to go back and forth.
Yeah.
I had the one color I didn't like.
Yeah, that dark purple.
Yeah, I didn't like
Yeah.
that at all.
Should we quickly say what the deal is today, or are we past that?
Sure, yeah. We can say what the deal is, and then we can say so ta-ta for now.
Okay.
I don't know where the paper is.
Okay, today's deal, in case you're watching for the deal, today's deal is the Suzanne Organics Outdoor Body Spray. With any purchase of $29.99 at SuzanneSummers.com, you will get this free outdoor spray. This is perfect for the summertime when you're out on the porch, out on the patio, by the beach, wherever you are camping. Bring this with you. This is a toxic-free alternative to things like DEET.
You don't want DEET.
You don't unless you're going somewhere where there are some
Safari,
safari,
where
for
they
example.
put saddles on the mosquitoes.
Yeah. So bugs hate the smell of it. It's made with all kinds of beautiful essential oils and herbal oils. It smells amazing. It could be a men's aftershave. You can put it on your pets. You can put it on children. You can put it on yourself. You can even spray it around your patio, porch, outdoor area.
Sorry, so I'm just scrolling down now.
Yeah.
So many people are remarking on your beautiful singing voice.
Really?
Okay.
Wow, you should
Okay,
be
I have
amazing.
one last question, okay?
Okay.
The question is, what was your favorite thing about Suzanne?
That's a hard one, even for me.
Well, maybe just One.
The favorite thing about Suzanne was she was 100% dedicated to me.
Yeah.
And I was just going through my emails the other day, and I found a letter she had written to me, and it's so beautiful, so beautiful. We were lucky. I mean, I'm a big city guy. I grew up in downtown Toronto, millions of people, and she was a small town girl from Northern California, from San Bruno. And what are the odds that the two of us would meet and like click? And that's what happened.
It was fate.
Yeah, and you're wearing your little bracelet too.
That's right. I've got my little bracelet that I will always wear. And many of you have this bracelet. It's the love bracelet.
Maybe some of you
With
guys
the
are
little
wearing it,
heart,
too.
okay? And the little thing that flops around that says love. And it's great.
Yeah, it's
great.
cute.
I love the fact that she was so dedicated to me, and I was dedicated to her as well. And when we knew the end was near, we had those conversations, and she said, "Don't mope around.
That's so her to say
Don't
that.
mope around. Enjoy your life." And so I moped around for about like a year and a half.
I don't know if you were moping or if you were just on stun.
Yeah, whatever it was, I didn't do much for the first year and a half.
Right, but like, what are you gonna just like snap back 5 minutes later?
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, that would be
Yeah.
odd. That would be not real.
But actually, what I miss a lot from Suzanne, I miss dating. We used to date. At least once a week, sometimes twice a week. We'd go to some wonderful restaurant and order a great bottle of wine and sit there and have fun and tell funny stories about one another and stare at each other. And it was great.
Yeah, and get all dressed up too.
Yeah, get all dressed up. So I miss that. I am dating today. Dating is like a weird word for me because when I think of dating, I think of, well, I'm not in high school anymore, but I'm dating. I've got my high school sweetheart, and I'm dating. So it's a whole different experience. And I enjoy dating. I think it's an important part of my life, and I'll probably continue doing it.
But you've never been by yourself. You've never lived by yourself.
Once for 2 weeks. When I was 18, I got my first professional job with a network in Canada in another city in Canada. So I went there 2 weeks in advance to find a place to live and get what am I going to do here? And every day I'd wake up for those 2 weeks, and I hated living alone. I'd never lived alone.
It's so weird because you're so independent. You're so
I know, but I don't like
strong-minded, but
no.
you do. You like having people around.
But today I don't.
I like having people around too.
I'm not so much that I like having people around. It's that I don't like living alone today.
I know.
I don't. I just don't like it.
Me too.
Move in together.
Yeah.
Let's move in together.
Oh, hold it.
All right. With that, we're going to leave the
Okay, we're
show.
signing off.
Hold it.
Let's say goodbye now.
Okay. That's
We love
another
you guys.
story we're going to
you
tell
guys.
Next
time.
week.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you the story about the two of us living together.
Just the two of us.
I don't think so.
We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.